Hello, hello. This is Pauline from Pauline Art Stuff. And today I would like to have a color and play session basically because I told you in my last plans video for February that I want this to be my playbook. And what I mean by that is that I would like to pick a color palette out of the Sarah Renee color cube. So these lovely cubes. So I picked the first one out of the four. And I literally took out the first palette in the box. So that will be our palette for today that I'm going to use. And my plan, I will show you what my plan is going forward. Like in the new cubes, there are these categories. So this is a category. So I took the first one behind this. So I got number 1. And then this is the second category. But every category has color palette that looks pretty similar to each other. So at first I want to go in order, just like 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. But I thought like, nah, that's going to be boring because there's a lot of overlap with the ones on the same card. So I was like, nah, let's not do that. So today I'm going to do this one. But next time I do a page, I'm going to take the first behind this tab. And then the third page that I do, I will take one behind this tab, just the first one, and so on and so forth, all the way till I'm up till that one. And then I'll just start over because this is the cube that I would like to use for this one. And once I finish this one, we will see how far I've come through the book. Probably I've finished the book by then. But that is basically my idea of how I pick my colors for this book. So for today, it's simple. It's just number 1 because it's the first one, first category, easy peasy. So I will also keep a note page in the beginning of the book so I know which color palettes I've done and on which page. Because I'm not necessarily going in order of the book. I just do whatever I feel like. But today I would like to use watercolor because I also want to try different mediums. And yeah, as you can see, this is Pop Manga Flight of Fancy coloring book. I gotten this for my birthday this year, and I already placed some brown craft paper behind my page because we're gonna do some watercolor on the first page in the book, which is this title page. So it's a double, as you can see, and I covered both up behind with craft paper so that we have everything protected on the back, because I don't know if this is gonna work, how the paper will respond. I'm just assuming it will handle it. But I have no clue whatsoever. So this is the palette that I'm going to use. The only exception that I make is for the skin tone, because I don't want a colorful skin tone. That's a no-go for me. So for the skin tone, I decided to go for a warm brown. So I made my colors beforehand. So this is in order. So light blue, dark green, medium green, light green, and the skin color. So I already have them ready to go. So that's my color palette. And then I can do whatever I want to on the page. So yeah, the brown is for the skin color. And my inspiration came from the front cover. Like, look at this one. She has some of the colors that are in the palette from today. As you can see, same color. So I was like, oh, let's do brown. Don't think about it, just do it. So that is the reason why I picked brown. No other reason, basically. So that is our plan for today. It is not a normal color along, as I usually do. It's just a come play with me while I work on this lovely book and play around and see what happens, basically. So I've got my color palette or my watercolor palette over here, so I can do some more mixing if I like on top of this one. And besides that, I just want to go in straight with the watercolor if possible. But I've got no idea how this is going to work out. So I'm going to place this to the left of me. I also got my brushes. I've got one more here, which is still in the cup. So let me show it to you. Like, that is soaking wet. So I got a big round one, a smaller one, and my flat big one to make the paper wet. And then I've got all my colors to the right of me. So what I will do is I will put this to the side so I can see it, but you won't. So it's out of view for you guys. And then I'm going to take my palette, which is this one. And I'm probably just going to leave it here because I first want to play on this side. And then I'm going to move to the other side just for comfort reasons. Because it's pretty difficult doing both at the same time while I'm filming. Because I don't want this on the page otherwise, you know. So this is handier for me to be able to reach everything easily. So that is why I've got it like this. Then I also have an extra blotter sheet to the side to lay my pencils or my brushes on in case I have a little break with them, so that I don't ruin my mat on my desk. So yeah, this time I am actually prepared. And I also got my baby wipes in case I make a mess. So yeah, that is what I've got. And I also got sponges because maybe I want to also sponge a little bit for texture. I have no idea. So that is like the plan for today. Have a play. So I think I'm gonna at least base her skin and just basing everything, and then we will see what happens next. So that is the plan for today. So I hope you will enjoy this, and let's start. So I'm first gonna wet the paper because I just want it to be soaked, see what it does, see if it happens, if something happens, if it can take it or if it resists. So far it looks okay. Well, usually when the paper can't handle watercolor, it usually starts doing like the waves. And this one, you can see that the water lays on top a little bit. So that is a good sign that this will probably take it quite well. So I'm just gonna wet this entire side. And yes, the paper below it is really crinkly because it was a bag. It was a craft paper bag. That was all I had at the time. So I have no idea what else I could have used because my other paper that I usually use is not big enough for this paper because it's a square book. And I also got them in use for a different book as well, because I also did some basing on there with watercolor. So yeah, that is also why I'm not using it. So there we go, it's all wet. And now I think I just want to drop it in there. That's my plan for now. So I'm going to take this one, it's nice and wet. And I'm just going to drop in the lightest tone. So I'm just going to do like this. Look at that. Look what it's doing. This is what I like. Maybe I should put more paper below it. I don't know yet. Okay, let's keep going. Let's just dab it on a little bit. Let's use a bit more. I want to see the magic, if you know what I mean. I can smear it a little bit so that at least the edge is covered. Yeah, but basically this is what I'm going for. Flowy shapes. Letting the paper do its thing and also the paint. I do want it a little bit cohesive, so I do wash it out a little bit more to the inside. But I just want to see what the paper does. So that is what I mean with playing around. And I have got no idea if this is going to work. So let me put down my brush and let me put that clip all the way on the edge, so I can keep going. So I do want also some color on the edge. I don't know what I want. Like maybe I should do it like this. Do like the light blue and then going into a light patch like behind her. And then go dark again below it maybe. And then put green on the birds. And then the rock is her face basically. Something like that. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Okay, let's put some more down here. It's already not that wet anymore, so let's also place some water next to it, see what happens. Oh, there it's wet. Okay, good. Let's see what it does. This part is not as wet as you can see, so I have got to move it a little bit myself. And I also want it on the side of the paper, but that might be a bit difficult because it's like this is the spine of the book. You see what I mean? I'm just gonna dab it on a little bit because I do want it to be a smooth transition from one page to the other. So my plan is to go from dark, light patch, and then maybe the next color. I don't know yet. So I do want this a little bit blended out so that it's not completely white here. Yeah, this is just play, whatever happens, happens. Like this becomes like a leather texture, so maybe I should put a little bit more pigment on. See what happens when I add it on. This is soaking wet, as you can see. I've got no idea if I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because that's what the reason is that I'm doing this in this book. I just want to play and see what happens without worrying if it's gonna be ugly. Because if it is, then so be it. That's why I'm being loosey-goosey, basically. I do some effects like I am doing right now, because I do want some light shading over here. So I don't want everything to be like random. But some of it, like the above her head, I do want some white patch. So that's why I'm like diluting this part so that it's a nice transition. So that I'm just gonna keep white probably next to her face. But this part I do want some more color. Yeah, the paper is peeling a little bit if I rub it. So I should like keep that to the minimum. But you see what happens here? It's like pulling, like it makes texture. I don't know how to explain it. It makes like a texture. I don't see that often on paper. Like let me loosen up this clip because there's a whole puddle there and I want that to dry up in like one big splash. You're also going to get harsh lines because of the puddles of water. I'm just going to let it happen. So that's the whole plan for this. Just let it happen. Maybe I should just unclip it altogether. Let's see what happens if I do that. No clips today. I do like this tone. Okay, so let's make this more wet again. Because now we're going to go into a different color. So I'm going to wet it again on this side. And then hopefully we can do the same below her. But with maybe the green tones, maybe the dark blue, I don't know yet. Because on the picture we have the sky and then we've got the mountains. As you can see, we've got the mountains. So maybe we should go for the dark tone. Just go in order. Dark tone and that one and that one and that one. I don't know yet. We could also do like first that one and then go to light and then go dark again. I don't know. Maybe it is nice to just follow the order. Let's do that. Okay, let's go for the dark blue. Bang. Let's go, people. This is way too much fun. I don't know how to feel about this, but let's go. I wasn't saying that this is going to be perfect. I'm saying I'm going to play. So I hope you understand that by now what I mean by going to have a play. This means like experiment, just do something and hope it works out, basically. That is what this is about. There's no rhyme or reason, basically. Like, yeah, maybe a little bit, but not that much. I do want to cover up like parts of it. And I want to go into the next color. I am not covering anything up, as you can see. I'm just going straight over. Just let the paint do its thing, basically. Because I'm not worried about those stupid feathers. I might even just forget they exist, basically. Okay, let's make that a little bit less dark on the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same on the left. Let's make it a lot more paint. But if I want her hair to be dark as well, I shouldn't do this too much next to her hair, if you know what I mean. So let's keep it a bit lower. I do like this effect. Let's leave that. Let's leave that part alone. Maybe I want a bit higher as well. Let's drop in some water. Yeah, we're just gonna work wet and wet today. See what happens. Do want some color next to her hair, but not too much. This is just what I feel like, basically. Like, I just want to have some color next to her, but not too much. And below here, I want it dark again, but maybe I will go into the green, or we keep it blue. I don't know yet. Let's make this wet as well. Just going straight in with the same brush. It doesn't really matter. I just want it nice and wet while we work on it. So yeah, this is what I mean with just go and play. And don't care about how it comes out. If it's ugly, then so be it. Look at that, what happens here. We've got like dust on it, like speckles. Same here. I don't know, maybe this paper doesn't like that much pigment. Bam. Thank you. Just do it anyway. Just gonna do it. Not even gonna think too much about it. I'm just gonna drop it on and just place it all around and let it dry. and then we will see what happens. There's a lot of water on the page now. That might be a bit problematic, but who knows? Maybe it will be fine. That is what I'm gonna find out once it dries up. That might be today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because it's getting a bit later in the evening. Okay, now I'm gonna drop in the green below this. So I'm gonna go straight to the green. Let it drop, let it drop. Let's go. This is fun. Not caring, just doing it, okay? I don't know why I like this so much. This is my worst nightmare, people. And still I'm enjoying myself. Like, what am I doing? I've never done anything like this before, by the way. This is just me literally playing. I've got no idea what I'm doing. Does it matter? No. I do want this puddles a little bit more like to the bottom. Maybe you should just all make this green. Just make this smooth. Because I don't think it will look nice if we add like the other color straight in. We could drop it in here, like on top of this, because it's soaking wet. So if we drop in the lighter colors, it might give a nice blend or something. Let's see. Let me clean my brush. And then we drop in this, the other green, just like that. And a little bit on that side as well. So let it do its thing. And then I also want some on the lighter green as well. Yeah, why not? Oh, let's do that. Why doesn't it work? It did before. I don't know if I like this. Too late. It's too late. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Maybe I'm gonna love it. Let's make those feathers green as well. Like, this is a nice mess. That's exactly what I wanted. Let me pull it closer so it's all in frame. Yes, okay, let's go. I think we need some more color over here, but I don't know exactly what. But maybe if we color them, it might be all fixed. So let me just drop water in it with the pigment that is already on it. And now I am actually gonna play a little bit more by letting it just run into each other. So now we get new colors because it's dropping into each other, basically. So let me just do that. And then I also want to do that on that bird. Just only wetten up the bird and drop in the light tone. I'm gonna use the other ones as well, but first I want the light green, because that's our lightest color in our palette, combined with the blue that we have on the top. I think I like this green on the birds. I don't know what I think about this. I think this is ugly, so I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this puddle away as well, hopefully. I'm gonna try to dab it so that my brush will soak up the paint, so that it's not that wet anymore, because it's a bit too wet for my liking. Like, this is what I expected to do when I flood it with water, but still. I do think that this part where, like, oh, we should drop some more in here as well. See what happens. Yeah, that's nice. Let's do some here as well. I do like that. Maybe a little bit more green here. So I'm not really a huge fan of the bluish tone. Let's also drop it on the feathers. Cover them up a little bit more, so that they disappear in whatever this is. This mess. I'm just gonna use the pigment that is already on the paper to just fill it up. Let's make a green one over here. Yeah, I'm just using whatever I have and hope for the best. There's so many feathers. Okay, let's see. Do I have something else? Maybe this one. More of a lighter tone. Yes, thank you. That's working. I like playing, but not like this usually. Like this is normally a bit too messy, if you ask me, but today I'm just going for it. And if I don't like it, I've got my answer that I don't want watercolor on this paper. And otherwise I might do it again. Okay, I think we've got almost all of them. Maybe a bit of blue for some of them. I think I've done all of them on this side at the very least. Okay, good. Let's continue with the birds. I do want some of this lighter blue. On the belly, maybe? Yeah, why not? Let's do also some blue on his belly. A bit more people. Whoa, that's a bit too much maybe. Let's also do that on this side then. This is, I don't know what this is. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I hate it or if I love it. Maybe I'm just used to controlling it too much. That this is too scary and therefore my brain is like, nah, this is hideous. You know? Maybe that is what happens. I simply don't know if that's the case. I do know that I probably want to go over it with pencils once it's dry. Because I don't think I'm gonna like just the plain look with this. I do like this. Okay, let's keep this. Then I would like her hair to be really dark. So we're gonna go with the dark blue. That's really dark. Let's go. Need to be careful. Just a little bit. So this is the only part that I do want to make some sense of. Which I'm even gonna make darker next time I come in on this page. As you can see, this paper is is not wet, as you can see. So therefore I really have to work it myself. Which is what I want, because I want some control in this area. To be careful next to the bird. And I move my brush with the way, how do you call it? With the swoop of the hair. Is that how you call it? The swoop of the hair? The direction of the hair? Yes. That is more like it. So that is how I move my brush over her. So that if I make strokes, they will go in a way that is like expected. You probably remember me telling you that I'm not really a huge fan of portraits anymore. That's also the reason why I didn't buy this one at first, but I got it for my birthday because my sister asked me if I still knew something, you know, like a present or anything. And I was like, well, let's do this one. Because it was the last one that I maybe wanted, like with a maybe, because I like some of the pictures, but not all of them. But I was like, well, why not? Let's make it a project book that I just do whatever, just experiment away, because I don't really mind how it comes out. Like, I would like it to be pretty. So that is a good book then for me to play. I think I like this. I think I like that. Okay, let me clean off my brush. And then I would like to work a bit on her skin. There we go. I don't know how dark it is. That is pretty dark. Okay, but if I spread it about, it's not as dark anymore. It's a warm brown, as you can see. So yeah, I hope it's gonna work out, but I've got no clue actually. I'm curious what it will look like once it's dried up. If it will be horrible or not. I don't know. Oh, her ear. Is there another one? No. Okay, let's deepen up some parts. So I want these parts a bit darker because of the shadow. I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is ugly. Let's just leave it the way it was. Because it's not really working the way I want it. So we're gonna just leave it. And then hopefully it will look okay. Let's make this a lot darker. Let's also give their beaks this color. You could also use it on some of the leaves, actually. Or the feathers. To combine it a little bit with the background. It does have this ugly texture, but I'm going for it. I'm submitting. I'm like going all the way. Even if it turns out hideous, then at least I know. But if it does work, I can play even more. Okay, let's also make some of these brown. This is exactly what most people would never do. And also for me, that's the same. I would never have done this in a million years. Like, the only reason why I'm feeling like I could do this is because I'm not a huge fan of this page anyway. So if I mess it up, I'm not gonna be sad. But I do have pages in this book that I really like. So if I would start with that one, I would be a little bit upset, you know? I don't know. What shall we do for her eyes? Maybe that like lovely green? Oh shoot. Well, okay then. It already happened. No! Okay, I should do a fix for that one. I should remove that. Because that's hideous. I don't want that color there. So I'm gonna just lift it up. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more of the brown there. There we go. Hopefully that fixes that green that I dropped in there. And there we have it. I think they need a little bit more color, the birds, but I don't know what. Because we're pretty limited with the blue and the green, and that's it. I don't know how I feel about this warm light edge. Maybe this just needs to be a lot darker, like her hair, etc. I don't know. Maybe let's try some more some more blue on her hair. Go for more pigment. Just drop it in like this. See if I like it darker. Maybe that's what's missing, contrast. I think that is the problem that I'm having here. No contrast at all. I don't know what I want. I do know that I want it darker. So let's do that a little bit darker. Completely out of the line. Not even a little bit, just completely. I don't know if it's actually getting darker by doing this, but I hope so. Because it's too light. Maybe I should let it dry and have a look tomorrow. What do you think? I think this is gonna be more of a snippet video in where I speed parts up. Maybe that's more interesting to watch. But let me know how you feel about something like this compared to a normal color along. If you like it or if you don't. If you'd rather have just a normal color along, let me know that as well. This is me experimenting. Okay, I think I should leave it alone. But I should just stop and let it dry so that I can see what is missing next time. And then fix that. But I don't think that it's nice that it's like from light, even lighter than like this medium tone, and then all the green. Maybe the bottom part should be a lot darker, but maybe not. Maybe this is fine. Because I don't really hate this, but I don't know. It's messy. But that's exactly what I was trying to do here. So maybe this is what I want. And now I'm gonna move to the other side and I'm gonna do roughly the same. So I'm not gonna use my paint palette. And then we're gonna make this roughly the same gradient. And then we will see next time when I come back to this page what I'm gonna do once it's dried up. because I have no idea if this is gonna work out. It looks hideous. Like the part that was like super wet has all these peeling things on top of it, like granulating bits. I don't know how to call it. Don't know what the name for it is. Maybe it is granulating bits. I don't know. I think it's wet enough. So let's go back in. So we're gonna start with the blue one. Gonna do the exact same as we did on the left, but now on this side. So I think I want to do it like lower, if you know what I mean, like more like this, and then move it lower. Maybe also add some green in here, I don't know yet. And now I'm just gonna drop water on it and hopefully let it do something beautiful, hopefully. I have no idea if this is gonna even be pretty or if this is hideous. I don't like the look of it right now, but maybe I will once I'm a bit further in. I'm gonna drop in the light green, just a little bit, behind the name of the book. And then a little bit more water to dilute it. Just for an in-between touch, because otherwise it's gonna be all the samey same, and I don't want to do that. I want it to be a little bit different, both sides. And then we're gonna go to that dark color. We're gonna leave that white bit in the middle because I want to connect left with right. Make this a bit more narrow. And then we're just gonna let it do its thing. I don't know, maybe a bit more pigment. Am I messing this up? I have no idea. I think I'm messing it up with what I'm doing right now, but I really have no idea what looks nice and what doesn't. Maybe I'm gonna regret this afterwards. Okay, let's do the dark green, like the beautiful green. Maybe I want this all the way to the bottom as well. Let's see. And then we're just gonna add in the next one. Don't think about it, just do it. Just adding in the paint that I've got on my palette because I'm running out. It's not good that I'm running out. Maybe some brown in the middle to make it nice and muddy in the middle. That might be beautiful. Who knows? I just want a colorful mess, okay? That is the goal here, to make a colorful mess. I do want it all covered, so I should do the edges a little bit more carefully. I think that this is lovely. At least everything has a color now. Like, let me blend it in a little bit more because the edges can be really harsh. I don't know, maybe we should also color those feathers a little bit. Let's make some green ones on the sky. We also didn't do that on the left. Maybe we should do some on the left as well. Have to be a bit careful because it's all wet and wet. And then we'll leave it and we're gonna continue next time around and see what happens when it dries up. Because maybe it will destroy the paper, because that's what it looks like right now on the left, as if the paper got destroyed. Like, you can already see it here, all those dots. I'm not sure what that is about. Maybe that is the paper just disintegrating, like, no, I don't like this. Yep. Okay, let's do some lighter green on the top one. Literally, just let it do its thing while I'm adding this in all over the page. We also should add some brown feathers as well. So let me do that right now. Let's add in some brown. That's exactly why I just leave it. I'm not gonna touch it up. I'm just gonna let it leak into the other colors next to it. I don't want to do another layer. I just want to leave it like this and then maybe do some pencil work on her face, which looks hideous right now. Looks terrible. All of this looks terrible in my eyes, but that is maybe because I'm telling myself it's terrible. Maybe it isn't. Once it dries up, it might be a lot prettier. Like, I like to play, but at the same time, it makes me feel a bit anxious that I ruined my book. This is the first page in the book. Even though I said I wouldn't care if it would be ugly, but apparently I do care. A little bit. But if that's the case, then so be it, because it already happened. I think I like it like this. Okay, let's do some of the lightest blue on these ones in the white. I like the combination of colors, but I don't know if I like it on this page. It is really colorful, I have to admit. That is something I do like, nice and colorful, but I really hope this is gonna be a lot prettier once I get to the pencil step, because I'm definitely gonna do pencils on top. That is a thing that I'm for sure gonna do. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it like this for today. And I don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, this is completely wet still. When I touch it, it's still wet. Okay, so this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this segment. And I'm gonna clip on the pencil part on top of this one. And then we're gonna have a look what it looks like once it's dry, because it's soaking wet right now. So until the next clip. Alright, and we're now the next day and it has dried up. And I used some pencils, but it doesn't change the texture. So I was like, maybe we should try some paint pens. So I picked some out, just some cheap ones, which I will swatch in a second. But first I'm gonna give you a bit of a close-up of what the texture looks like. Look at that. As if there's granulation on top, but it looks a bit moldy, as if the paper has peeled up. But when you feel it, it doesn't feel like it did. There's nothing on top of it. It feels smooth. The same with the face. I added in some pencils on the cheek and some shading, but it doesn't feel right. It still feels a bit blotchy. And even on the part of the hair that I used minimal water, even that has some peeling, well, the look of peeling basically. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom you in on the face. And I'm gonna do the face with some paint markers. But first I need to swatch them. So let me grab the paper to do that. Because I picked out all kinds of paint pens to see what I want. So I'm gonna, let me just shake. Then I don't have to do that while we're coloring. Because I picked quite a lot of them, just in case. Because I don't know which direction I want to go. So let's see. And I didn't want to use the Tooly art because that one is usually quite opaque and it's better to have them a little bit more see-through. So these are the colors that I picked out so far. But the point is that I want to mix and match. So I'm going to layer it a little bit and see what happens. Because right now the skin is quite dark and I want it a lot lighter. So I want the nose and the highlights to be a lot lighter. So that is the goal. So what I will do now is I'm going to start with probably one of the light tones. So probably with this one to gain a little bit of highlight on the nose and next to the mouth and the chin, a bit on the cheeks, a bit on the forehead, but most of it is covered up because the highlight should be here. So that is part one that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna pick this tone now and I'm gonna dab it on basically. And then I'm gonna use my finger to smoosh it so that it's not as harsh. So I want some highlights here. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Smoosh it, basically. And that's what I'm gonna do with all of it. So I want a highlight on the nose. Smooshing it, so it's not as harsh. But it's a bit difficult because the hair is where highlight should be. Like you always have a highlight next to the eye. Oh, well, whatever. It's gonna be messy anyway, so we need quite a bit of highlight next to the nose. But you can see this is gonna be messy. It's not gonna look pretty at all. This is like what I call the ugly face. But we're gonna see what will happen once we add some more. It's gonna first be uglier and then it's gonna be prettier. This is the way it goes. Gonna add on a lot more, just so that we have a little bit to play with. We're gonna add in a lot more anyway. It's gonna be hideous before it gets better. So this is just for adding in highlights, basically, so that we've got a little bit more light to work with. Also on her neck, maybe a little bit. Okay, and the ear's already pretty light. Okay, so let's switch to a different tone. So I think I'm gonna go for this brown tone. That is the next one I want to do next to it. So we're just gonna work it up slowly but surely. Make it darker where I want it a bit darker. But I'm using my finger to dab so that the transition between the tones is less harsh. Basically, that's why I'm dabbing. So that it's not as harsh as what you see right now. And it will work, but yeah, it looks hideous right now. I hope it will work out. That is the goal of this, that it will work out, but I have no idea if it will. If I didn't, then I just messed it up right now. You'll see. Right now the goal is just to make everything a little bit lighter and give it some more contrast. But I'm slowly building it up, as you can see. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. Let's just add in a little bit more around the nose. Okay, let's take, some next to this one. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're gonna take that tone. And I'm gonna dabble it on again. Next to this one. But I also want some darker parts over here. Yeah, this is like a slow transition to whatever color you want, because this takes time to make it nice and what you want, basically. So sometimes you need multiple layers of something to make it what you want, and other times you nail it in a few layers. But right now I'm just dabbing it on wherever I think it's necessary to make the blotchiness go away, but also to add in the highlights back, because the highlights were almost gone in my opinion. And that's also not what I wanted. I didn't want them gone. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. I don't know what I'm thinking about this. All I know is that I'm not a huge fan of what I've just done. But yeah. Like this I probably won't smoosh as much, because I want to keep some of it. I think this is okay. I want it a bit more soft next to that. Okay, let's add in some on the bottom, the chin. Okay. Yeah, it's going through an ugly phase, and then hopefully it will become better once we add more layers. As you can see, I'm doing it slowly. Like, then I also need some more brown tone over there. Let's see. I want some more pinky tones, so let's go for that one. So that is this one, because I think it's a bit too dark right now. We're gonna add this on top, basically. See what happens if we just dab it on. See if I like that better than the brownish tones that we just did, because I think it's a bit too pale. So yeah, this is what I mean with playing. You're just adding things on and see if you like it. And if you don't, then it's already too late because it already happened. But if you do like it, that's a win. But you never know until you try. I think I do like it a little bit better than what I had before. It's not perfect, but it's something. Okay. Yeah, I do like this one a little bit better as a highlight, but I think it's already really light. So I think I should go with either one of these. So let's go with the more reddish tone. And see what happens if I put that in over here for the blush on the cheek. So I like my blushies. Okay, yeah, it's working. Maybe it's not as great, but it's working. Okay, I like that. I also like to have some more on the lips, maybe. Yeah, I like that too. Okay, a little bit on the side of her nose. I don't think I want to dab this too much because otherwise it might spread too much. Okay, let's see. I want some... It misses contrast now. Like, this is a bit too muddy. I don't know. It needs something lighter. Okay, let's go back to the lightest tone, which is more like a yellowy tone. And I'm gonna dab it on her nose. Just like that. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I don't know. Maybe I should go for really cartoonish like I am now. I have no idea if this is gonna make it how I want it. Maybe I will mess it up completely by doing this. I don't like how the tones are at certain points, so maybe this will help to bring it more into perspective to what I want. So far it's becoming even uglier. Maybe I should quit this right now while I'm while I'm at it. Okay, let's take the pink tone instead. Let's try some pink. I don't know. This is also not much better. No. Okay, let's go back to the brownish tones. This one, but that one was too not enough. Okay, let's take this one in instead. Let's remove what I just did. I don't think I like that, what I just did, so let me just go over it. This is what I mean. I'm just literally playing with colors until I've got something that I like. Like, this looks messy as hell. It's not getting any prettier. Okay, back to the brown. Let's bring some brown tones back in, because this is not pretty. I'm not really too happy with this. Maybe I should have left it where it was, but it's too late. I actually liked it how it was before, and now I messed it up with this one, with whatever I was doing. Okay, let's go to this brown. All right, it's becoming a little bit better. Just gotta keep working it, basically. I don't know. I don't know. I do like some of it, but not all of it. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, let me just make more like really strokes and leave that to dry. Gentle. This needs to be a bit more gentle. Okay. And then I want to highlight underneath her eye. We're now just making it way more cartoonish so that it speaks more, basically. So no more Mrs. Soft. We're just going for it. So I want eyelash or the eye thingamabobby over there. And then there should be some shading going this way. Yeah. Some on her head itself. Yeah, this is like tricky when you've got such a stylized portrait and what you're going for is like an in-between between realistic and cartoony. And it can be a bit tricky to make it how you want. Yep. I don't know how to feel about this just yet. I think I want her to smile a little bit more. That's what I want. So we're gonna change the mouth as well. Let's keep going. Should be some darkness here. Some here, but that is behind her bangs, basically. Alrighty, I think this will work out a little bit better than it was. Let's take a darker tone, so let's go to a bit darker tone. More like a reddish tone, as you can see. This one I do want to double a little bit. I like my reddish tones. As you can tell. Yep, I like it already a lot better than what I did before. So that is good. We're moving in the right direction. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's hideous. It's missing contrast no matter what I do. Oh boy. Okay, keep going. You got this. Now we're gonna bring in the dark bits. Maybe that will help. Making her mouth a little bit happier. Because we can. Yeah, that helps as well. I like that. I don't know what to feel about this. Whether I like it or not. I think I do, but at the same time I don't. Maybe I should also use some more pencil to accent everything a little bit more. The mouth. And then on her chin maybe a little bit. It's like a really dark brown, this one. So I don't want to add too much. You think that's more than enough? Okay. Let this dry up. It's at least better than what I started with at the beginning with the splotchy face. See, it looks okay. It's not the worst. But I do feel like her eye needs a little bit more lightness in it. So let's take the light pink. I'm going to add in an extra highlight. Just because I like that. It's like the anime style, you know? Let's also add in a little bit of a highlight on the top of her mouth. I'm not sure if I ruined it by doing this. Maybe I did. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Like her lips, I want them brighter. Like a nicer warm tone. Maybe this one should work. Let's see. Yes, that's more like it. That is more like the tone that I wanted. Let's make her lip a little bit bigger because I think it's just too small for what I'm going for. Yep. I like that better, but still it's not what I want, basically. Yeah, that's better. That is much better. Maybe a little bit of the darkest tone. And then we mainly add it on the bottom of her lip. I do like this though. This may be a bit too harsh, but hey, I like it. Let's go back in with the other one to make it a little bit less harsh. Mix it wet and wet, basically. And then she does need some more shadow below her lip, so I'm going to go back with that really dark tone. I think something like this would look nice. Alrighty, I think this is enough fumbling on her face, don't you think? Look, it looks better than it did before, and that's what I was going for. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than I had when I started out. So yeah, I think this is good enough for me. This is something I'm happy with. But as you can see, the background is still ugly. I do like her hair, so I don't want to do too much. I think I want to do some more shading with some dark blue pencils, but that's about it. So these ones, all of these tones can now go to the side because I'm not going to use them anymore, at least not for her. And I think the beak of the birds can be done with pencil as well. So let me see if I've got some tones that look like that. Green, this looks like it. Let's see, what about the blue? Nah, blue is a no-go. Okay, so we're gonna pick some from the greens. So let's pick out something that looks like that, the middle tone and the green tone. So I think when I'm looking like this, I think I should go for this one. Maybe that one as well, and then this one, because that looks pretty similar as well. So let's pick those. Okay, so those are the light tones, and then we need a bluish tone for that, but I think that is too dark. Maybe I should go for this one. Alrighty. Okay, let's start with the light tone. And let's go. Let's see how this works if I put it on top, because I don't really want to change the color. I just want to make it smooth, you know? Yeah, it's working. Okay, good. Okay, let's just keep working where I see this color. See what I mean? I just want to get rid of that texture. This one I might need to use my finger to smoosh it maybe a little bit. Just forget that the other color was there and just use this one instead. Or if I'm just saying no, I just do it on the worst spots and I'll leave the rest as is. I don't know yet. So let's take a darker one. Oh, that's a lighter one. Oh, maybe that would have been prettier first. As you can see, I'm just experimenting. Like, that looks really nice though. I really like that. Makes the contrast also a little bit less in between those two colors. A nice in-between shade. Yes, I like that. I think I like this. So maybe I should continue this all the way through, but I also need some more light tones, as you can see, some more like a light bluish tone, maybe that one, 708. So let's take that light one and let's use it over here to see if that works. Yeah, that is more like it. I don't want to change it too much, you know, like I just want to make it more less splotchy, basically. I don't really want to change the look of it, so I'm just gonna go lightly over it in spots. So I'm trying to follow the colors that I already have and then dabbing other colors on. Maybe I should at least fix these spots, like the ones that are really terrible, and this stuff, because below here it's a lot less obvious, as you can see, but this part is really bad. So I at least want to fix that up and then leave the rest probably. So this one is pretty dark, so let's try this one. I know it's not perfect, but it's better than what, like the splotchiness of those weird paint texture. But yeah, I'm using my finger, so I've got a mess of a finger. When I'm done, I need to wash my hands really a lot because I've got all this paint on it now. See, layers and layers of paint. That's the lightest tone, Pauline. You wanted the other one, but okay, this is also okay. Just use what you've got. I just want it smoother. Yeah, I just want to get rid of that texture. That's all I want. I don't want to like have to make it all again. Just try to make it a little bit better with a light layer of this stuff. I think it's working out, but I should just do something, you know, better than nothing. Like I like this already better than this texture, so that is good. But yeah, I do remove some of what I had because of this. I'm just making circular motion so that it is a light layer smooshed into what I already have. I don't know, I don't like that dark one. I like the lighter tones a lot more. That works as well. Okay, good. Mixed media, people. A bit too much mixed media maybe for my liking, but it works. It's getting rid of the texture that I don't like, and that is the entire goal of this. I do want to keep some of it because it's not completely hideous, but some parts, like I'm pretty happy with this part now. So let's go to this side and do some about this darker blue. So I'm gonna add this one on. Okay, I think that's enough for that one. Let's take my other colors, smoosh it in. Yeah, it's working. I like that. And because I rub it with my hand, it feels not much different than what we had before texture-wise. But at least you don't see that big splotchiness anymore. Like, I do not like this that much, but I can figure that out. Yeah, that looks a lot better than with the splotchiness of the watercolor paint. So it's a really light layer now because I'm smooshing it with my finger. The paper doesn't like this. It can take a whole lot of beating, this paper, even though I soaked it completely. It's still going strong. I'm actually surprised to how it came out. Like that there's no bleed through to the other side and stuff like that. Because I was afraid it might have bled through to the back of the paper, which it didn't. So I'm actually surprised that it didn't. But yeah. I'm just trying to get rid of all these granulating bits and bobs. Yeah, this is working, but my hand is getting destroyed right now. Yeah, I like this a lot better. I also don't like this part on the left at all, like this part. So that one I also want to fix a little bit. Same with this part. But the other stuff I think I'm just going to leave for now. So let's do that as well. Yeah, I think I'll just have to do this like this and then go in with pencils for the hair and the birds and such, because they are not the worst. The messiest of the messiest stuff to do is this. I'm embracing it right now. You can still see the other color through it, so that's good. And I don't have to worry too much of using the right color. Yep, I like it. And my cat is coming to join us in a second, I think. Yeah, I like this a lot better. It's still not perfect, but that is not what I'm going for. BB, please don't go on my desk. Oh God. She's sitting right on top of my book on that side. Well, as long as she stays there. Like, I do like this. She's coming closer. As long as she stays on that side, we have no issues. Just get rid of that harsh line, you know? Okay, I think that works really well. I also want to soften this part up a little bit. Just a bit more. So I think it's still a bit too harsh. So yeah, I think this is the trick for fixing it. If you want to fix this, that is. I do, because I don't like the look of it that much. Okay, I think I want some more of that greeny tone on top of this part. It does work. That makes me happy to know that I can fix this mess even a little bit. Even if it's not what I imagined. At least it's better than what it was. Which I like, yeah. I'm much happier with this. This looks more like an oily pastel look instead of like the destroyed the paper look. Let's also add some in over here. Yeah, I like this look a lot better. A lot better than what it was. Just making it a lot softer, as you can see. So that is what I like about it. So I'm also not really bothered with which color I use where, because it's just smooshing into the paint underneath. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, that works. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I think I'm gonna leave this part alone. Let's look at the face once more. Is this dry? This is dry. Yeah, I'm not too unhappy. Like, I like this a lot better. Because if we now move my page to the other side, look, the difference between that or that. That's like with the granulation. Looks hideous. And that is with the paint. So I think this is the way to go. So I'm gonna now also do the rest of the page. And make it a little bit more smooshed. Like the same with this part. And like maybe I do this with pencils instead, because I want the birds to have also more. But I can do all of this on the top bit as well with this paint pen stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this works great. I wish I had more of a blue tone, but I don't. So it's gonna be this minty green tone that will cover everything. So I don't like this weird look of the paper. It's like this leathery feeling. I'd rather have this than that ugly texture underneath. So I'm sorry, painting, but we're gonna change you up. This is what I mean, like I'm playing, but it can ruin it completely. And if it does, then my solution is paint pens. At least I'm happy with this. This is much better in my opinion. I want to let go of that feeling that you're like ruining something just because you're scared of trying stuff out. And that is also the reason why I started this project to begin with. And I think it does help because I'm not as worried anymore. I do like this. Okay, good. Let's do it also on this side. This makes me be less fearful of messing up in this book, because now that I've done the worst, basically, with my undercoat, with the watercolor, I'm less afraid to do this kind of stuff. Same with the face. I'm less scared to do this because it was already messed up anyway. So it could only go uphill. Like, and with the pencils, it did nothing basically to hide that texture. So I was like, okay, well, if that doesn't work, then my only solution is paint pen or more watercolor. But then you will get the same texture because it's the same stuff, you know, same paper. So it's like I need something else because I don't, I also got rid of all my acrylic, like my normal acrylic. So I only have my paint pens, the ones that I'm using right now, because I really am not enjoying painting by itself anymore. I rather prefer to use my pencils instead. But if I want paint, I use it like this, basically, with my fingers, or never with a brush anymore, because I'm not really a huge fan of like doing that in books. For what I use it for, the paint pens are a lot more useful. I'm way happier than I was when I started. I'm glad that this is working. Like, the texture is less visible on this side. On some spots, not everywhere, but on some spots it's less visible. So I don't want to add too much paint then, if that's the case. Yeah, that's all the paint that is dried up from my finger. So I should clean it once as often by rubbing it off on, like above the trash bin, and then I can just continue with the light tone. Just on the outer parts, I think. I'm gonna leave the part that is more to this side because I'm afraid it might become too dark if I do it over there. Yeah, I do like this a lot more than what I had before. So I'm happy that I'm messing about. Yeah, I'm happy. Much happier today with the outcome of my experiment. Yeah, I was hoping to keep some more of the blue, but I don't really have a suitable color. Yeah, but it does improve the texture, so that is really good. So yeah, I've got to do a whole lot of this. BB. I hope you don't hear that too much. She's playing with her, like the, she's got these wooden bits in her litter box, and that is what she's playing with. She is having fun with her litter box stuff instead of her toys. She's got so many toys, but what does she play with? Her litter box wood. You must love them. I'm happy that this works so well to smoosh it out. Yes, it's taking time, but I'm much happier now with the result. So this shows that even when you mess up big time, you can still do stuff to fix it, which is good. I am not like, this is not too bad, but this part is. So I want to not touch it all because I like that to keep some of that green tone on the bottom. Okay, I think I'm almost done. Yeah, I feel like I'm done here. All right, let's close this one up. Let's zoom you out. There we go. I think this already looks a lot better. Like, yes, it darkened up some of the parts, but I like this a lot better. So I'm gonna let all of this dry. It's probably already dry. Yes, I can already touch it and it's dry. But I like this a lot better now, the texture. So at least I fixed the texture. And then next time I will try to add some colored pencils. So yeah, that is the plan. Alrighty, I am back again. It is now later in the day. This morning I did my acrylic marker on the face and the background to cover up all the ugly texture that I had, but I like the face, but I am missing some warmth, basically. It is warm, but it's a lot darker, and that was the point where I was going for, but I want some more nuance, and I don't know if I can do this, if I can go over it with pencil, because usually when you have paint on it, it's hard to go over it with pencils. But as you can see, I picked some of my Polychromos pencils, so I'm gonna place them to the side of my book. All of them, but I picked them out based on the color palette that we're using. So I took some darker blues because I might want to darken up the hair a little bit, and I want to do the birds and the feathers maybe a little bit more, and then I call it done. But first I want to see if I can add some more blush with some red tone and some pink and a lighter pink. So these three. So this is, let's see, let me pull them closer for you. It is Dark Flesh 130, Fuchsia 123, and Pale Geranium Lake 121 from Polychromos. So those are the colors that I'm going to try to add to her cheeks and see if that works. So I'm going to start with the red tone. I am going to use my handy dandy pencil holder that I will link in the description as well. And I'm just going to see if it takes it on top of what I've done. Oh, it does. Oh yeah, let's go. I have to be careful not to press too hard because then I might scrape off the paint. But if I can put like a little layer on top to make it a bit more brighter, that would be awesome. It seems to work though. So let me see if I can also do it on this side. It's not a whole lot of pigment that stays on, but it does work. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's add in some of the pink, the darker pink, which is the 123 fuchsia. And let's see if that also wants to grab on, or if it doesn't. It does. Awesome. Yeah, I just want some more pink on the cheeks. I love my rosy pink. And I love the cheeks to be lovely, bright, and like present, basically, instead of being it a bit like, it's there, but it's not really there. Like, you see what I mean? It's not a huge difference, but I think I like it a lot better. Then I'm going to go for the lightest one, which is Dark Flash, 130. Just gonna see if I can blend it out a little bit more. This one barely shows up, as you can see, so maybe this is all I can get for now. So yeah, it definitely does work, but yeah, I'm happier with this. Let's say it like that. Like, I like how bright it is now, like just a little bit more, you know? So that's why I had these 3 colors. So that's everything that I want to do with those, because I only make an exception for the skin/face to add in colors that I just prefer on there, because I don't like to make a blue skin or a green skin, or you know what I mean? Because this palette is just for everything else on the page. But for the girl, I just want to pick natural skin colors, whether it's brown in this case or a light tone or whatever. I don't mind as long as I like it. So what I will do now is I will Google a picture of an icebird. Let's see what they are called. I think of an icebird because in Dutch it's called icebird, ijsvogel, basically. But they are like blue with a brownish yellow belly. But I like their backs. Their backs are really like bright blue turquoise. What is the name of it? Kingfisher. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so let's look for Kingfisher instead. Typing it in on my Google. And then I'm gonna search for images. And I'm just gonna click on one. And that's what I'm gonna try to recreate. Because they look a lot like this, in my opinion. The kingfisher have the same shapes around their eyes. So like below this, there's orangey brown. And also on their belly. And this is white. And so is a little bit over here. And then all of this, including the bird's beak, is actually pretty dark blue and bright blue and some turquoise, depending on how the light hits it. So that is what I would like to do, but I'm not going to add in the brown. So instead, I would like the belly to be more like a blue tone, and then this more green going into blue on top of the head and on the side. So this like textures bit. But this bit I want to keep light, because I don't know what else to do with it without adding too much color. So let's see. Let's start with a color. What do I ever pick? I picked this one for blue, and I've got these 2 for blue, which are quite dark, but they're mostly for the hair. And then for the green, I've got some dark green, a lighter one, and that like this one. So that's also not a lot. That's more like these greens on the right. And then I got a turquoisey for like in between, because I used some over here. So that's why I used that one as well. So that is what I've got for colors for the birds. And yeah, let's have a look what we can do. So I think what I will do first is start with the blue. So these ones. So I'm going to grab the lightest tone this time around, because usually I start with the shading, but I think this time I want to do it the other way around, because this is really dark. Maybe this is already enough for shading. So this is 145 cobalt blue. And I'm just going to try it out to see if I like this or not. Let me zoom you in. So we have a little bit of a closer view. And let's see what we can do. So these are our colors. And this is our bird. Let me put it more in frame so you can see it while we're doing stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade the bottom and the side. And then this part I want, like this part I want darker and this part lighter. But let's see what I can do. Because I haven't really tried pencils on this paper yet, because it's brand new to me. So it's the first time me using anything in this book basically. But I had a little chat with Jess from Coloring Bumblebee, who did also watercolor in this book, but she uses like a minimum amount of water. She's using it sparingly basically. So maybe if I want to do watercolor, I should try less water that next time, because on her hair it turned out a lot better. So maybe if I do less water and let it dry in between, it might work out. Okay, let me color this all entirely, this whole section. Yeah, I think this is dark enough. Let's add in some green as well. So I'm gonna go for the emerald green, phthalo green 161, to add in some green, because otherwise it's gonna look the same as the hair, and I don't want that. I want to have the contrast, so I'm just gonna saturate over the top of it with this green tone. Yeah, it has a weird texture, this paper, because of the watercolor, I think, that I did. I think that's the fault of that one. Yeah, I do like that. I like that like turquoisey blue tone. So I think that's it for this part. Then I think I want to do the same on his head and the side of his fur, but I think I want to do it differently, like color these bits in green and then the rest of it blue, maybe. I don't know yet. That is my idea right now. The main purpose of this series is to just have fun and play around with palettes and ideas, how you could put them on pages, like how would you apply them basically, and go nuts. Just try it out. Like yes, I care apparently what it looks like, but at least I'm trying to let it go by just going for it without too much thought, you know. Like when I placed my watercolor on this page, I knew there was a big chance that it wouldn't work out. And yeah, it looked hideous in my opinion, but I managed to save it by doing this. I actually like this, so maybe this is already enough. Let's use some of the lightest green for like around the eye. So that is 112 leaf green. So that is my whole goal with this book, just to experiment and play with my supplies and see what I can achieve. And going out of my comfort zone as well. So playing with the palettes does that already, because this is definitely not a palette that I would pick. I don't like my greens that much. Yeah, I think this is better with the green instead of like the blue. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay, let's also add in some green on his belly. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, let's also do some on the side. Don't want to color in all of this, just a little bit of shading on the sides. Like so. Yes, beautiful. Okay, let's also do some of his wing, but I think I want to keep his wing a lot lighter than I originally thought I would, because I like this look. Maybe only on the edges I want some color. And I'm just going to leave that as is because it's nice and light. Let's pick the next green, which is Permanent Green 266. Let's make it a little bit darker on certain places. Yeah, I'm just letting my feeling guide me basically. And yes, I have an idea of what I might want, but as you can see, I'm already changing it up again. But yeah, basically this entire book is meant for me to experiment with mediums that I own, experiment with palettes that I own from Sarah Renee Clark, maybe even some Joanna Stone if I feel up for it. And yeah, see what happens, because I like to experiment, but not in books that I love. So this book, I like certain pages, so I might skip those for the color palettes, but the ones that I like but am not in love with, like this one, I might be cool by doing this instead, because then it's still colored and I still had an experience of trying it out basically. I'm gonna go to the darkest one, which is Pine Green 267. So yeah, that does give me a feeling on how to apply palettes that you pick out and how you could apply them on pages and make it more your own thing instead of the creator's one, because everybody has their own way of coloring. Like just like I do, I like my vibrancy, I like my dark and lights. So the way I would use a palette might be a lot different than how you would use a palette, or how you tackle a page by using the same palette. Like what I do right now might not be your plan of attack. You might think like, what the heck is she doing? You know, that is very well possible, but that is exactly the reason why I'm showing you it, so that you can try it too, maybe. Have a little fun. I don't know if I found this so much fun in step 1, like the step 1 with the watercolor, maybe not so much. I do like this, the darker bit on the bird's wing, but I also think I want a little bit, like on the back of his head probably, just like a little bit of shading, because there's not enough shading on this side, so maybe a tiny smidge. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, all I'm trying to do is make contrast everywhere so that things pop from the page. That is why I'm adding in dark and light tones. So this doesn't have too much like medium or dark or light. So that falls flat because of that reason. But I don't want to go too dark because of the hair next to it. So maybe once I've done the hair, I might go back to the bird, but I don't know yet. I do like the beak, so I'm not going to touch it just yet. We're going to go to his lovely friend on the left. Now I don't want to cover up my bird because that's my reference. So let's just place this out of view. And let's do the same on this bird that we did on that one. So let me switch back to the blue color, which is Cobalt Blue 143. And let's do the belly first. So this time the belly is a lot longer than on the other bird, but I like what I've done. So I'm just going to copy paste it basically. So I'm gonna color the bottom of the belly with this blue tone all the way up till here, give or take. And then I'm gonna take my Phthalo Green 161 to shade in the rest of the belly up till here. So yeah, my main challenge for this is to choose a palette and apply it and don't deviate too much. Like only for the skin I'm allowing myself to deviate, but that brown I also want that then in the rest of the page. So if I would have chosen a more pinky tone for the skin, I would have also added it throughout the page so that it connects, because otherwise it looks ugly. So that is why I do that. Okay, let's go to the lightest green, which is the Leaf Green 112. Let's do around the eye. Yeah, that is just the texture of the paper. Okay, good. So I'm gonna just do it around because I want to keep that white, because I like that white. Let's see, I also want some on the side. But because this bird already has a lot more blue, I'm not gonna shade all of it in. So I'm gonna keep it to the side so that this highlight stays, because I like it. But this side is already shaded, so I'm just gonna add in the green on the side that already has shading like this. And then I also want some on the wings, but these wings are a little bit different. As you can see, it looks different. So I'm gonna add in the green over here on the long side of the feathers. But as you can see, I add them only on one side of the wing, so that you always have from light to dark, like a gradient kind of thing. You can add that in yourself by doing it this way. Alrighty, let's switch to the medium green, which is Permanent Green 266. Let's make this darker. Same with this one. Maybe I want this side darker instead of the top. Yes, I like that better. So yeah, I hope I will enjoy this book by doing it this way. Because this was one of those books that I was doubting if I would like to color it, because there's a lot of faces in it. And as I told you before, I have moved away of faces a little bit. Because that's what I used to do all the time. Let's go to the Phthalo Green 161. And I grew tired of doing portraits and such. So that is why I stopped doing them for quite a while. And now when I'm doing just a few of them here and there, I'm okay. But I think that if I do a book like this, it might be too much. Maybe it isn't, maybe it is, I don't know. I really have no idea if this is like gonna bug me again. Because it has been years since I did my last portrait, like commission work and such, you know, like drawing it for somebody else or drawing it for myself. Like it has been some while ago, but yeah, at some point you're just done with it, you know, you don't want to do it anymore because you've done it so many times that it's just boring now. Yeah, I like this. Okay, let's add some dark green. So the Pine Green 267. And then I'm gonna call this one done as well, because I like it. Let's see, let's add it in on the inside of the wing, like right here. But yeah, if there's a book that you do not like in your collection, or you are like, I don't mind if I ruin this, then you could also try to make it a practice book, just to practice your mediums, basically, to know, to learn how to use them, to learn how to apply palettes yourself, you know, just to experiment, because sometimes it's really scary to do that in a coloring book that you love. While if you do it in a book that you don't like as much, the pressure gets a lot lower, of like the feeling that, oh, I'm gonna ruin this now because I do ABC. And because this book is not as special to me, I am not really bothered that I mess it up completely, because I know I won't mess it up completely. Like, look, this looks awesome. You know, like that is the thing. I don't mess it up completely 100%, but if I do, I will be okay with it, but I will not be happy. But at least then I know what not to do next time around. All right, that is the bird. I want to add in some shading in the hair, but not too much. So I'm going to use my black and my two dark tones that I picked out. And I think I'm going to start with the dark blue, which is in dark indigo 157. So I'm going to use this to hopefully darken it up a little smidge. Just want it a little bit darker. I don't know how much darker, but at least darker than it is now. I am already liking the way she looks like, but I just want a little bit more contrast in her hair. Just a little smidge more. Like this hair almost faded, so I'm gonna draw it back in. Same with this. Want some more shadow on this side. Just a little bit more. Yes. Just accentuating what we already have. Just making stuff a little bit darker always helps to make the contrast better. And then usually it comes more to life than when you don't. You need those extra dark bits and those extra light bits. So having this light bit over here really helps. But yeah, you also need your darks. I do want this part to be a little bit darker. Making it nice and dark next to the bird. I'm already following the original lines of Camilla, so that it's like more defined. Like this side now looks a lot darker than that side, which is what I wanted, but I'm also going to darken this bit up So I don't like the way the watercolor looks. So therefore I'm gonna draw in a bit of darkness so it pops more. And then underneath the bird I want some more darkness, like so, and a little bit more on the side. I like some more darkness in her hair. There we go. Yeah, I like this a lot better now. I don't think I want to do too much more on her. Okay, let's add in, let's see, that was the darkest one. Maybe this one. I don't think I need the black at all because it's already enough black. Let's see if I want to add some of this. Let's see what that does. This is Indentrine Blue 247 from Polychromos. Let's see if I like to add this as well for like an in-between tone. Yes, it's a really nice shade of blue. I think I like that. Yes, I do like that. Okay, let's add in some more. A little bit more darker blue in her hair to make the differences in between also a little bit more. But as you can see, I'm not covering every little inch. I'm also leaving parts the way it is so that you've got contrast. Because the moment you do it like this, where it's like shades really close, it falls a lot flatter than when you have it like this. But I want this to not pull attention. I want this to be the main focus, and her bangs and this swirl around her neck. So therefore I try to keep those really light. And I try to keep these parts behind, like inside basically, a lot darker. So that is why I'm filling it in all the way instead of leaving parts the color, the watercolor color basically. Because that is the only reason why I'm doing this, to add more contrast so that it pops even more than it already did, which I love. I think it needs a little bit more here as well. Let's see, have a look. Yeah, I think this is brilliant. I love it. Okay, good. Do I want more of this dark blue? Maybe for like some feathers? No, I think I want the lighter blue, which is this one, which is Cobalt Blue 143. I think I want to do some feathers. So let me see which ones. I like the face and the birdies. Like, we've got a lot of these that don't have a color. Like these ones I just want to leave as is. But maybe one with like these ones or these ones, I might be making them blue. So I did not do that with the watercolor itself. So I'm just going to make some of them blue. But yeah, the weird texture doesn't disappear even when you add pencil on top. So that is something to take in consideration when I'm doing my watercolor next time, to use less water so that that texture doesn't happen. So that will be my next test, doing it with less water like I did on the hair, and see if that looks better on an entire page. And if it does, then I know what to do next, you know, like I know what to do. So yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this off camera. Do the little feathers, like color some of them in and leave the rest as is, because I don't want to add anything else to the page. I just want to color some feathers with blue, and then I call it done. So that is what I'm going to do, and then I will show you the entire page in a second. Alrighty, and I'm back. I filled in some blue feathers, so I did some over here, I did some here, some there, just divided them over the page, and this is the result. So let's see if it bled through. Like, I've got this craft paper behind both of them. They have no pigment besides some on the edges because of my messiness, but let's see if it bled through. Like this side, maybe a little bit over here, some speckling. So yeah, we've got some speckling all over the place on this side, mainly on the bottom. So that was the part that I made really wet. And that's also where the ugliness was the worst. So this is what the main page looks like, because this is the main focus point. And I really like how the birds came out. And I also like her face. Like, let me show it closer. I really like the warmth of the cheeks and the lips and the nose. I also like her eyes, like the real manga look in her eyes. I think it's cute. I didn't want it to be too realistic, but this is like a nice in-between. So that is good. So I'm happy with this. I love this color scheme as well. And then I pulled it through to this side, which I want to keep as bare as possible so that the focus is on that one. But I think it's a success, people. It might have started out like a disaster, but it turned out wonderful in the end. So I'm really happy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope to see you for the next one, in which I'm just going to pick another page and another palette, and we're just going to have fun. Maybe I will do again watercolor, but then with a lot less water. Or I might take my oil pastels. I don't know yet. To be determined, basically. Whatever I feel like. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye bye.